realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made of this brotherhood of men. And for whatever that means. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out. It's in my head and I'm feeling just a little peculiar. And so I wait. Thanks. Hey guys. Thanks for tuning in. I think it's going to be a bit of an intimate crowd tonight with the long weekend and whatnot, and being really nice weather for a change in Calgary. It's been so hot and nice. I know lots of people are out camping and stuff, so I appreciate those of you who are around doing whatever you're doing, tuning in. I know even myself, I'm quite preoccupied with what's going on, playoff hockey and all. Is there anything more 2020 than every Canadian hockey fan, or at least the ones who understand the implications of the NHL's return to play drafting situation, but every Canadian hockey fan who does, cheering for the Toronto Maple Leafs? I guess they're officially Canada's team. After all these years of being told that they were, it is official. So I'm going to actually probably, I can see my TV from here if I strain, but I'm going to be relying on you guys to update me on the score. Please win, Leafs. Please win. Okay, as I've mentioned in my promo and stuff, this week is going to be a strange set list for me. The last couple of weeks have been a little more self-involved, so I figured, especially given that it's a long weekend and you guys are choosing to be here, why not give back? And I've had a few people ask me to do a night where we just played random soundtrack songs. So on last Monday, I basically learned a whole bunch of songs that I've never considered covering before, for the most part. And we're going to give it a go and try to play some of these. Some of them will make you cringe, I'm sure, and some of them you will hate, and some of them some people will love and whatnot. But we're just going to try to have a little bit of fun with the set list this week. I'm going to start off with the only song in tonight's set list that I've actually covered before. I covered it on guitar, or was starting to cover it on guitar. I mentioned before about how I used to try to figure out some songs that would spark a bit of a reaction, like that Cher song. This was one of those, and I was starting to learn how to cover right before I quit playing again. But I think a couple of you have heard me play this song on guitar, and so I tried to figure out how to play it on piano. It's from the movie Pretty Woman. I'm pretty sure, which is a funny movie because I think I was talking about this with people the other day or the other week, how that was the movie that my mom would not let us watch because it was too grown up. And I think about all the other movies that I watched at the time with no questions asked, and it's pretty funny. But anyway, this, if you have not already guessed, is a Roxette song. The great Swedish band Roxette. Must Have Been Love. I sounded a bit like Casey Kasem there, didn't I? It must have been love, but it's over now. And lay a whisper and on my pillow, and leave the winter and on the ground, and wake up lonely in the air of silence, in the bedroom and all around. And touch me now, and I close my eyes and I dream away. It must have been love, but it's over now. And it must have been good, but I lost it somehow. must have been love, but it's over now. From the moment we touched until the time had run out. And make believing, and we are together, and that I'm sheltered by your heart. In and outside, I've turned to water like a teardrop in your palm. And it's a hard and winter's day, and I dream away. And it must have been love, but it's over now. It was all that I wanted, and now I'm living without. It must have been love, but it's over now. And it's where the water flows. Well, it's where the wind blows. Sorry. And it must have been love, but it's over now. And it must have been good, but I lost it somehow. It must have been love, but it's over now. From the moment we touched until the time had run out. Yeah, it must have been love, but it's over now. It was all that I wanted, and now I'm living without. It must have been love, but it's over now. And it's where the water flows. And it's where the wind blows. It must have been love, but it's over now. It must have been love, but it's over now. It's funny because I was actually thinking to myself at one point during the week, it's like, I'm getting more confident, obviously, in my piano playing, because I'm just like picking up random songs and trying random things. I was like, man, it's weird how much more comfortable I am. And then when it comes to actually playing random stuff, there's going to be a ton of mistakes tonight. That'll be the first of a few, but kind of fits with the theme of the silliness of the night. Can't go wrong with Roxette. You can, but I think we just did. But anyway, must have been love. Okay, let's move on. This next song, if you're going to do a movie night soundtrack song and you are from Canada, it would be tough to pull it off without this dynamite number from Canada's Bryan Adams. I actually do love this song. I have drunk sang this song many a night. Actually, one of my favorite memories of this was for our friend Lexi and Chris's wedding. They got married in Martha's Vineyard, but one night, I think it was before their wedding, we were at the bar, and another friend, Trish, she was there, and we're in this bar, Martha's Vineyard, and the two of us were screaming at the bartender to play Bryan Adams. And he finally pulled up this song and he played it, and we belted this song out at the top of our lungs. And yeah, it was a great night. It's just a great song, and I'm sure it'll be great when I play it right now. Look into my eyes, and you will see what you mean to me. And search your heart, and search your soul. And when you find me there, you'll search no more. And don't tell me it's not worth trying for. You can't tell me it's not worth dying for. And you know it's true that everything I do it for you. Look into your heart, and you will find there's nothing there to hide. Take me as I am, and take my life, and I will give it all. I would sacrifice, and don't tell me it's not worth fighting for. I can't help it, there's nothing I want more. You know it's true that everything I do, well, I do it for you. And there's no love like your love, and no other could give more love. And there's nowhere unless you're there all the time, all the way. Listen to your heartbreak. No, you can't tell me it's not worth trying for. I can't help it, there's nothing I want more. Yeah, I would fight for you, and I lie for you, and walk the while for you, and yeah, and I die for you. 'Cause you know it's true that everything I do, oh, I do it for you. I like that we've reached the portion of these sessions where the kids are actively getting angry at their parents. That was always my goal. All right, let's see. What do we got next? Any score? Oh, no. You stupid Toronto Maple Leafs. It figures as soon as I start cheering for the Leafs that they would also suck. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't be completely selfless. Selfless. I did have to play a couple of songs that are kind of like songs that I really like. So this is a song that I don't know how super well known it is, but it is by a very well known group, obviously, Simon and Garfunkel. And most people would think if you're gonna play a Simon and Garfunkel soundtrack song, that you'd play like Mrs. Robinson or something like that. But for me, I actually didn't really know this song until I heard it on a soundtrack. I think the soundtrack was Garden State, I believe. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. I think I talked about Garden State before. That was just a great soundtrack. And I remember hearing this song, if that was indeed the soundtrack or whatever soundtrack it was on, and being like, man, I really like that song. Why did I never hear it before? And I never just thought to cover it. But I was like, well, if I'm doing soundtrack songs, let's try this. So this is Simon and Garfunkel's The Only Living Boy in New York. And if you don't know this song, I suggest checking it out. My version's not going to do it justice. It's really good. Tom, get your plane right on time. And I know that your part'll go fine. Flying down to Mexico. Tom, 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 and here I am, the only living boy in New York. And I get the news I need from the weather report. And I can gather all the news I need from the weather report. Hey, I got nothing to do today but smile, don't, and here I am, the only living boy in New York. And half of the time we go, but we don't know where, and we don't know where. Time we go, but we don't know where, and we don't know where. And Tom, get your plane right on time. And I know you've been eager to fly now. Hey, let your honesty shine, shine, shine. And don't let it shine on me, the only living boy in New York, the only living boy in New York. One of the few songs on this set list I will stand behind. That's not true. I actually quite like most of these songs, as cheesy as half of them are.
Bridget would like you to watch your language.
Oh, I'm sorry, B. What did I say?
The weak sock and her dad likes it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Did they tie it yet? No. Ugh. Come on, Toronto Maple Leafs. Make Bridget's dad and Bridget and everybody else in Canada happy and win. All right. I mean, if we're going to do soundtrack songs, there's obviously got to be some Disney in there, right? So, let's play a Disney tune. I think most of you will know this one. There's a calm surrender to the rush of day, when the heat of the rolling world can be turned away. An unenchanted moment, and it sees me through. And it's enough for this restless warrior just to be with you. And can you feel the love tonight? And it is where we are. And it's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer, and that we got this far. And can you feel the love tonight, and how it's laid to rest? And it's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. There's a time for everyone, if they only learn that the twisting kaleidoscope moves us all in turn. And there's a rhyme and reason into the wild outdoors, when the heart of this star-crossed forger beats in time with yours. And can you feel the love tonight? And it is where we are. And it's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer, and that we got this far. And can you feel the love tonight, and how it's laid to rest? 'Cause it's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. And it's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. The Lion King. Someone, I think Margaret asked for Elton John before. And I'm like, well, there you go. Two birds with one stone. That doesn't count? Oh, ouch. I mean, Elton John is just like, people have, I know another friend, Carlton, asked me to cover Billy Joel. It's really hard to cover piano players, because like so much of their songs are their piano playing. And I'm not there yet. I've only just started to relearn how to play the piano. So maybe someday, but. Okay, while we're on Disney, obviously I was going to have to try. I never, it's only because I'm doing this night that I even consider this. But I was like, if I'm doing a soundtrack night, should probably, because it's been joked about several times, see if I can pull this off. And I'm not sure that I can, to be quite honest, but I'm going to give it a go, because I have nieces and nephews, I guess, who love the movie that I think has caused a lot of parents to hate the soundtrack because I hear it so many times. But I'll be honest, I've only watched the movie Frozen and Frozen 2 a couple of times. And I remember watching Frozen for the first time and just actually, it was after all the hype. I was like, how good could this possibly be? And I watched it. I was like, wow, that was really good. And I do think it was because like I had nieces and stuff. I was like, I love the way they like spun that. So I always did like it. And I always thought this song was okay. I'd never understood the big deal about it until I actually tried to start covering it this week. And then I was like, man, this is really a good song. But anyway, this is my attempt at playing Frozen. I know my niece Bridget loved the movie. I know my niece Maddie loves the movie. And Maddie is my toughest critic. So I hope that this meets her standards, her very tough standards. But B, you guessed right. She was guessing what song I was going to play, and you got it, B. Anyway. Let it go. The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation. Looks like I'm the queen. And the wind is howling like this whirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, and heaven knows I've tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. I can't hold you back anymore. Let it go, let it go. And turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small. The fears that once controlled me, they can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. And now I'm free. Let it go, let it go. And I'm one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. And you'll never see me cry. And here I stand, and here I'll stay, and let the storm rage on. My power flurries through the air into the ground. My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. And one thought crystallizes like a Nazi blast. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go, let it go. And I rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, let it go. And that perfect girl is gone. And here I stand in the light of day. And let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. What a song.
Robert's glad you didn't choose an Olaf song.
No love song. Next. It is hilarious though. Like that song is probably the hardest song I've ever had to learn how to sing. Not because of the range, which was whatever. Actually, it's a better range song for me than some of the songs. But there's like really crazy melodies in there. Like it's actually quite complex. There's there was one night where I think I spent like half an hour just going like and trying to figure out that vocal melody. And Elaine was just like, "You're driving me nuts." I couldn't figure it out. It was just like, just wasn't working for me. Anyway, yes, okay. That is our Frozen portion of the evening. And to be honest, that is our Disney portion of the evening. So let's move on. This is another one that's kind of for me, but also was a request. This is one of my all-time favorite songs, and it is the only song I think I'm playing tonight that is on 2 soundtracks. What's the score, by the way? Game's over?
Yeah, 2-0 final.
We'll get them next time, Leaf Nation. Yeah, I think it's the only song that's on 2 soundtracks. But it's like one of my favorite songs. And of course, the first soundtrack version was by Kate Bush. It's her song. And it was on the 80s movie. Anybody who grew up in the 80s and like John Hughes movies, you remember she's having a baby, and this was a song from that. And then it was, I mean, it's been covered a bunch of times, but the next time I heard it on a soundtrack was on the soundtrack for Love and Basketball. And yeah, it's one of my favorite songs of all time, but I never really considered covering it because it's like the 2 people who sing it, they sing it in these like Kate Bush has that crazy high voice. And then Maxwell, who covered it for Love and Basketball, or for his album that eventually got put on that, he can just sing these crazy high falsetto notes. I don't have that ability. So it never once dawned on me to try to cover it. But my sister Amy asked if I would try to cover it. So I said, I'll give it a shot. So it won't be as good as those 2 versions, but this is my own version of this woman's work. Pray God you can cope as I stand outside this woman's work, this woman's world. Ooh, it's hard on the man, 'cause now his part is over. And now starts the craft of the Father. And I know you have a little life in you yet, and I know you have a lot of strength left, and I know you have a little life in you yet, and I know you have a lot of strength left. I should be crying, but I just can't let it show. I should be hoping, but I can't stop thinking. All the things I should have said, but I never said. All the things we should have done, but we never did. All the things I should have given, but I didn't. Oh, darling, make it go. Make it go away. Give me these moments and give them back to me. said, all the things we should have done, but we never did. All the things that you needed from me, all the things that you wanted for me, all the things I should have given, but I didn't. Oh, darling, make it go away. Just make it go away. Anyway, what a song. That, I think I talked before how for years of my life, and to this day, I like sometimes falling asleep to sad music. And if I'm going to fall asleep, that song's going to be in that playlist and somewhere. It's just great. I love it. All right. Okay. There's definitely been some cheesy songs in this little set list. And I debated whether I was going to try this one or not. And because I know Mark is here, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I have it in my head that he's a fan of this band. I know my wife is a fan of this band. And I'm not particularly a fan of this band, but I've mentioned to anybody that I would go watch these guys in concert just because their lead singer is this like crazy vocal gymnast. Like, it's ridiculous what he does with his voice. And I'm just like, I love watching great singers. I'm just like, wow, like what they can do with their voice is incredible. So I would always go watch them, even though I'm not the biggest fan of this band. I definitely, I don't hate them. There was times I really liked them. But this song is also from a great movie with the greatest actor on the face of the planet as the lead. And so as terrible a job as I do singing this song, because again, who can sing like Steven Tyler? Nobody. Like, his voice is ridiculous. I'm going to do a really bad cover of this from the movie Armageddon. Again, I sound like Casey Kasem. From the movie Armageddon, this is I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Yes, Ben Affleck. And I could stay awake just to hear you breathing, and watch you smile while you are sleeping, while you're far away from dreaming. And I could spend my life in this sweet surrender, and I could stay lost in this moment forever. But every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure, and I don't want to close my eyes, and I don't want to fall asleep, cause I miss you, baby, and I don't want to miss a thing. Even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do, I still miss you, baby, and I don't want to miss a thing. Lying close to you, feeling your heart beating, and I'm wondering if you're dreaming, wondering if it's me you're seeing. And then I kiss your eyes and thank God we're together, and I just want to stay with you in this moment forever, forever and ever. And I don't want to close my eyes, and I don't want to fall asleep, cause I miss you, baby, and I don't want to miss a thing. Even when I dream of you, and the sweetest dream will never do, I still miss you, baby, and I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to miss one smile, Well, I just wanna be with you right here, right now, just like this. And I just wanna hold you close. I wanna feel your heart so close to mine, and just stay here in this moment for the rest of time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't wanna close my eyes, and I don't wanna fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, baby, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do. I still miss you, baby, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Don't wanna fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, baby, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Even when I dream, that's not right. And even when I dream of you, that's not right. Sweetest dream will never do. I still miss you, baby, and I don't wanna miss a thing. I still miss you, baby, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Anyway, doesn't matter. What is happening here? People are talking about collective soul? Yeah, Steven Tyler is crazy. Crazy. I would listen to that guy sing 24/7 for the rest of my life if I could. All right, speaking of people with crazy ranges, again, if you're going to do a movie soundtrack night, then you got to do the Queen of Canada, or at least try to. And I would have to do this song, especially given that I have anointed this song as the song that should be Canada's national anthem. And when the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship last year, we christened this as Canada's national anthem. Forget "O Canada." "O Canada" is boring. It's not a great anthem. You know what's a great anthem? Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On." And I am going to do my best to not completely butcher it. Right now. Yes, Kyle. Celine, the Queen. Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you, and that is how I know you. Go on and far across the distance and spaces between us, and you have come to show you. Go on, and near and far, and wherever you are, and I believe that the heart does go on, and once and more, and you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime, and never let go till we're gone. And love time I hold to in my life will always go on, and near and far and wherever you are, and I believe that the heart does go on, and more and more, and you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. You're here, there's nothing I feel, and I know that my heart will go on, and we'll stay forever this way, and you are safe in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. The Queen, Celine. All right. We got one song left. And if you know me at all, you know what we're ending with here. It's not Oasis. We haven't done Oasis in a while, actually, but if we're going to do a movie soundtrack night, there should be no surprise about where we're going here. If you've ever hung out with me late at night, you know that if nights don't end with Oasis, they're going to end with Peter Cetera. Usually just both. It's an interesting thing. Like, obviously, I love movies. Everybody knows I love movies. I spend way too much time in a movie theater, and I've often tried to like psychoanalyze myself and be like, why do you have this like weird draw to just being in a movie theater? Like, what is it about a movie theater? Not particularly even just movies, like being in the movie theater that you love so much. And I think, in my own personal psychoanalysis, I think it's because one of my first favorite memories as a kid was the first movie, I'm pretty sure the first movie I ever went to in my life was The Karate Kid. And my dad picked me up from a swimming lesson, and I thought we were going home, but instead we went to the movie theater and we watched The Karate Kid. And that moment for me is just like, it's such an amazing memory. And I really think that's why I have such a connection to going to a movie theater, and probably also why I have such a connection to The Karate Kid, which I love. And so Peter Cetera's obviously had the main song from The Karate Kid 2, and it's kind of become a bit of an anthem, not just for me, but for some of my friends as well, and people who know me. And I don't know if Andy has bothered to log in with the Leafs losing. He might be in pure depression mode, but he is definitely one of the guys who also has fallen in love with this song. So I figured it's a fitting way to end the set. So here's some Peter Cetera, Glory of Love. This is Casey Kasem signing off. Tonight it's very clear as we're both lying here, and there's so many things I want to say. Sometimes I just forget and say things I might regret. And breaks my heart to see you crying. And I don't wanna lose you, and I could never make it alone. But I am a man who would fight for your honor, and I'll be the hero that you're dreaming of. And we live forever, knowing together then we did it all for the glory of love. You keep me standing tall, you held me through it all. I'm always strong when you're beside me, and I have always needed you, and I could never make it alone. But I am a man who would fight for your honor, and I'll be the hero that you're dreaming of. And we live forever, and knowing together then we did it all for the glory of love. Like a knight in shining armor from a long time ago, and just in time to save the day and take me to my castle far away. And I am a man who will fight for your honor, and I'll be the hero you've been dreaming of. I wanna live forever, and knowing together then we did it all for the glory of love. And we live forever, and knowing together then we did it all for the glory of love. And we did it all for 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 love. Peter Cetera, what a song. He's the only one of all those songs. What makes a great soundtrack song is really the key change. But he goes for it. Like, he changes that key early, and then like another bridge back into it. That's why that, in my opinion, is arguably the greatest soundtrack song of all time. Anyway, that was fun. Different kind of set for me. Thank you again, guys, for tuning in. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your personal favorite soundtrack songs. Hopefully you liked or at least laughed at some of the ones that we played tonight. Again, thanks for tuning in. I know there's lots of stuff you could be doing instead. That's it. Good night. And I couldn't tell you were right. So instead I looked in the mirror and I watched TV that awake all night. We got these chains hanging around our necks. People want to strangle us with them before we take our first breath. And afraid of change, afraid better stay in the same